Hi, my name is Ryan Mason. This is my blog concerning informed consent forms. The form that I found was from True North's Christian Counseling Services. With it being a Christian counseling service, they explain their practice and they explain that there's a God centered perspective of all the therapists and the overall practice within itself. The informed consent form explains what the client can expect before they proceed with services, just to be sure that they're comfortable and confident in the practice compared to what their expectations are and what they're looking for as clients. The informed consent form that True North has gives the assurity of confidentiality and all the legal bindings to keeping information confidential and meeting the legal requirements of HIPAA. It also explains mandated reporting processes and things that would go against confidentiality, so far as child abuse or neglect or criminal abuse against an adult. Um, the informed consent form also relays information surrounding expectations of appointments, payments, emergency accessibility, pretty much everything that the client can and should expect and would expect upon receiving their services. Now, compared to the ACA Code of Ethics, Standard A.2, it's the 2014 revised version. Counselors have an obligation to review in writing and verbally with the clients their rights and responsibilities of both counselors and clients. So the counselors are to explain to clients the nature of all the services that are going to be required or provided. They are to inform clients about issues such as their purposes, goals, techniques and procedures, limitations, potential risks, and benefits of services. True North's informed consent document covered most of the standards laid out in the ACA Code of Ethics. It didn't give a lot of information concerning the techniques that they use or the procedures that they use, outside of that they have a biblical worldview and a God-centered perspective. So I guess that in itself, will shine light on a lot of what their, services are to be expected. Now, according to Missouri State Board rules and regulations, which this information I got off the Missouri Code and Regulations website, which will be referenced. The informed consent documentation needs to explain the goals of the therapeutic relationship, behavior expected of the client, risk and benefits of the procedures, qualifications and credentials, financial considerations and arrangements, the limits to confidentiality regarding individual, couple, family, or group therapy. All these things, most of these things were included in True North's informed consent form, other than their qualifications and credentials. It did say, it brings out how they have the counselors on staff, but credentials and qualifications were not laid out in the informed consent form. The financials and arrangements, all that was included. But other than that, True North informed consent form did pretty much cover everything that's required by the ACA Code of Ethics as well as Missouri's codes and regulations. But I was glad to see that they had a consent form, and though not from my state, it still met the requirements of Missouri, as well as the requirements for the ACA Code of Ethics. I think that the informed consent form really sets a precedence for the entire experience of the client, from their overall worldview and the perspective of legal parameters to mandated reporting, payments, and appointments. I think all that was pretty well laid out in True North's informed consent form. So that'd be my comparison and contrast to that counseling services form and what's required through the ACA Code of Ethics as well as Missouri's regulation. Thanks for watching.